Just let's talk about Hipwood at the moment, goes before. It's been directed straight to the tribunal. Good decision, I think, because of the circumstances surrounding this. And then we can agree to disagree on what's unfolded here. I think there's a duty of care for Eric in this instance, and we'll have another look at a different angle, and there's some arguable elements to it that may see him get off with perhaps a fine. But you've got to execute an even greater duty of care when the umpire's in the vicinity. What say you two?
I say there's no way he can be suspended for this.
Right. So you take no responsibility for the push and the fact
no,
that
you
the
take
umpire's
responsibility
there.
for pushing your opponent.
So
Absolutely.
when you've flattened an umpire,
the burden of proof is on the AFL to prove that he deliberately pushed him into the umpire. And how can you prove that?
So recklessly or deliberately, it's still
pushing an opponent
with an umpire within a metre.
But that's not within his to in a split second come to the conclusion that if I push my opponent right now, or the umpire's coming across, they're going to hit. No,
we put it up. Yeah, we can put it up again.
Intent is actually no longer something that the AFL are trying to discover. They basically will just call it on, as you said, Gaz, either reckless or careless.
So at this stage, he knows where the umpire is. He knows where his opponent is.
How do you know he knows where the umpire is?
Because he's an AFL player, Nick. The guy's wearing a bright green, yellow top, and he's a metre in front of him.
I think you're giving him too much credit.
No, I think you're not giving him enough.
So what say you, Gaz? What do you believe the penalty or the sanction will be?
I think there'll be an arguable element to it where he could downgrade it. But I don't. When you go to the tribunal, well, you can argue against deliberate, right? So I think he knew what he was doing. I reckon he pushed him, and the umpire's there and think, I'll get a break on him now. Whether he's into the umpire or I can split the two of them, that's okay. When you do that, then you've got to take responsibility for your actions, and then the penalty comes, right? I don't mind if it's a week, because umpires, I think, need to be sacrosanct. And to argue that he didn't know the umpire was there, I think, is a bit of a stretch, given what players are able to do in the modern era. You argue it down to reckless or careless, then he may end up with a decent fine.
I would suggest that if they feel that there's something in it, that it needs to be bigger than that. And if they're proven that they're happy to clear him, it's either nothing or more, because I don't reckon there's any in between on this. I think that he'll be cleared on that.
Yeah, I think so. Well, look at it one more time.
All right.
Gardner and the umpire, they're coming from different angles. It's not like the umpire's directly behind Gardner.
So right now he's watching the ball, right? He's really watching the ball, and he's trying to slide. Then he meets his opponent.
Then Gardner initiates contact.
Where's his eyes, Eric?
Well, it's impossible to tell, Gary.
I can see.
But look, they're coming on different angles. Now the umpire comes back in towards Gardner. I mean, you'd have to be Pythagoras to work out that they were going to collide.
Well, I think it's I'm not going to be up in arms. There'll be an interesting tribunal. I think that there's been a strong offensive from the Brisbane Lions today and yesterday to get their message out there. I think they've been...
So they should.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. No, have you been called?
No. What are you talking about,
He actually did that with a straight face.
He did indeed. Let's get on to the Kangas, who we haven't spoken